I'm Johnny Vegas, and you're listening to KopTalk with Dunk. And all you other Liverpool sites, just stop embarrassing yourself, all right?
Yo, what up? This your boy Smooth, straight from New York. You're listening to KopTalk Podcast. Remember this, you never walk alone, but if you fuck with us, you walk with a limp.
Alright guys, how's it going? It is Wednesday, the 5th of July 2023, and you're listening to the KopTalk Podcast in association with footballclubshares.com, where you can buy real shares in real football clubs. That's right, and I get a kickback from it, or else I won't be telling you. Now, footballclubshares.com is a website of mine, actually. It's broken at the moment. You can use it, it does work. But the visual, the theme isn't working properly at the minute. So it doesn't look as pretty as it usually does. A little bit like me, really. Not that I usually look pretty. How's it going, guys? You all right, yeah? So, listen. We're going to have a look and see what's in the news. Now, first of all, I have relaunched my newsletter. Basically, that means, like, daily emails. Well, weekdays, because I like to Skype on a Saturday and Sunday. Where, you know, I send out LFC news or opinion, something like that, by email, completely free. And that's how KopTalk started back in the 90s. It was a mailing list originally. I used to send out news all over the world. It was very popular. And then I stopped it because I thought people weren't interested in email anymore because everyone transitioned to the website, KopTalk.com, that was born from it, you know. And then, you know, we had social media, and then we had apps and social media, and now newsletters are a thing as well, really. I mean, we've got the podcasts and video, we've got everything, right? But I thought to myself, some people maybe like receiving emails, and the take-up has been amazing. In the first 24 hours, I had 200 people subscribe to it, which I think is pretty good going. I can assure you that's more than I had back when I first started, around 98 or something like that. And so, would you like to join it? Today, I've sent one out titled Liverpool Cool Interest in 2 transfer targets. Yesterday was Saudi blood money too tempting for Liverpool legends. And the day before that was Romeo Lavia speculation intensifies. And what I do is I actually pack the laptop into my rucksack, I jump on my bike, and I cycle to a nearby cafe and send them out in the morning as part of that routine to try and get out of the office, out of the house, you know, because that's what the doctor said to me recently. When my little health scare, they were like, you need to be, you know, get out and about a little bit and try not to be too stressed. So it's actually helping me as well. And I'm putting a lot of effort into it, guys. I honestly am. It takes a long time. It's not a 2-minute thing. So if you would like to subscribe, and you can leave at any time, just unsubscribe, and your email address is saved. No one will ever be provided with your email address of that, I can assure you. All you need to do is go to your browser and put KopTalk, right? KopTalk.b. It's kind of like beehive, but I'm going to spell it to you. It's BEEHIIV. BEEHIIV.com. So it's KopTalk.beehive or hive.com. BEEHIV.com. And just stick your email address in, and away you go. All right, and you'll be on board for tomorrow morning's email. And I have no idea what it'll be about yet. Okay, so I copy them onto the VIP members website, obviously. You know, but if you like receiving stuff by email, then that's something I'm going to be building up, and maybe they'll, you know, start doing more than one a day and stuff like that. I don't know. At the moment, I'm conscious that we need to update the podcast. I'm very grateful for those of you that support me. There have been some changes to the tiers, the patrons, those of you that make the podcast possible. Please do refresh, you know, have a look and see how they work. You know, there's different tiers, and you can now become a KopTalk member via Patreon, you know, .com/KopTalk. So anyway, guys, that's enough guff. I think you know how it all works. If you're ever in doubt, email me, dunk, D-U-N-K, @KopTalk.com. I'll always look after you, and I'll always make sure you get you know, the best solution to, you know, to how you want to support me and how you want to get your LFC news and opinion. So what we're going to talk about? Well, let's start with that email that I wrote today, actually. Now, obviously, after we signed Dom, I call him Dom. I think it's Sabozlai. No, Sabozlai. Szoboszlai, I think. I don't know. Dom, all right. Now, speculation has suggested really for the last 24 hours or so that Liverpool may have ended their interest in Khéphren Thuram, okay? Now, while there'd been some credible people suggesting this, I personally, and it's only just the way I work, you might be different, I prefer to wait for confirmation from my own sources, which I prefer to call friends, all right? People, some of them that I trust in my life. Now, confirmation has now come, all right? So, and the confirmation has come that Liverpool have stepped back from Thuram for the present time, okay? And also Lavia as well, Romeo Lavia, because Romeo Lavia is too expensive as things currently stand. Now, as soon as it was clear that Dom was in the bag, many of you guys asked me my opinion about Thuram. Did I think we'd sign him, right? Now, I stress that upon signing any player, that such transactions can often have an immediate knock-on effect to other potential deals. I thought we'd maintain an interest, but I expressed caution. And then people immediately replying, oh, yeah, but don't they different players? Different style players and stuff like that. But that doesn't really matter, guys, right? You could sign a striker and then end interest in a defender because it's all about the money, right, involved in those deals. So my personal opinions from the people that I listen to, that I pay attention to, the Thuram situation, it sounds like we're just leaving that at the minute, all right? Maybe we will not go back. It sounds like we might have to move someone out if we were going to make that happen. So if Thiago went to Saudi Arabia, for example, then maybe that would happen. Do you know what I mean? So it does sound like we've cooled on him. Lavia is too expensive at the moment, but we might return, to the table with these. Now, obviously, if Thiago goes in, absolutely something will change. But it sounds like Thiago wants to see out his contract at Liverpool and maximise the potential earnings of that next year. That situation, if he did leave on a free, I'm sure the owners right now are hoping that he goes now because they'd get some money for him. I don't like this running down contracts and letting players leave for free. It's bizarre as far as I'm concerned. So Henderson's been linked with a move out there. Wishful thinking for some people, I know. Again, he's like a trusted lieutenant of the boss. He's English. I can't see him being encouraged to leave. So I think for the time being, we just have to accept that Liverpool are going to try and get the best deals financially. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? Well, they're always going to do that. But what I must say is, you might say, well, that's great, innit? Fucking typical FSG, they won't pay this money for Lavia or Thuram, or unless there's an exit or whatever. But listen, what you need to know, right, is that deal for Dom, right, was different by FSG's kind of like standards, the way that they do business, right? Definitely different, the way that that deal was structured, right? But the boss really wanted him. FSG, Fenway Sports Group, John Henry, AL, right, John Henry, they delivered that player to the boss this summer, when normally, in my opinion, I don't think they would have done. They changed their, all right, this has got to be financed, however they've done it, and you'll have seen the rumours about how they've done it, whatever. I wouldn't pay much attention to that, but they did it, all right? So we're quick to criticise them, but I'm going to be quick to praise them as well. No, FSG have not changed my opinion. They've signed 2 players. I'm not really particularly bothered about that. This is what a club of our, status should be doing. So why should we be praising them? No, they can sign 4 players, and I'll still say the same thing. For me, it's not about the amount of money spent. It's about the numbers available to the manager in his squad. Do you know what I'm saying? But while we will criticise them, I will also praise them when it's due. So criticism when it's justified and praise when it's warranted. And I think that FSG did go a little bit further this time to make that deal happen for the manager. The boss really wanted him, more so than McAllister, in my opinion. That's what people are saying. All right? So, I was going to say something else about FSG. Oh, yes. What I was going to say was I can't but help think that the mood of the fan base put pressure on that deal as well. So maybe they would have normally turned away, but I've got a feeling they went, you know what, I think we better make this happen because things are getting really fucking, pressurising, or it was getting a bit nasty. I wouldn't say nasty, in some quarters maybe. The pressure was building up anti-FSG again to considerable heights, I think. And I did say, I think something's going to give, and it did. right? Now, you might think that's a bit naive to think that the owners would possibly change their transfer strategy because of the fans on the internet or whatever. Well, I actually disagree. I don't. I think if you run a business, whether it's a small fish and chip shop or whether you're a mechanic or whether it's a multi-million, billion-pound business, when you have customers, which we are customers, en masse starting to get unhappy, you say to people, right, how do we deal with this? Just give them what they fucking want, right? So, you know, you own a fish and chip shop, right? You know what I'm like? I like to come up with these little things, right? So you own a fish and chip shop, right? And normally you used to get a free bread bun with large adequate chips, and then the owners change it, go, no, we don't do that anymore. And then you've had people coming in every week with that saying, well, where's my bread bun? I'm sorry, it's 50p now. Well, I'm not paying that. Then they all start moaning and getting on your tits, and then they start rebelling. You're like, do you know what? Just give them the fucking bread bun. The ones that moan, give them the fucking bread bun. All right, just don't tell everyone. So you do adapt with business. You do. You listen to your customers, unless you're Ryanair, and they'll admittedly say, we don't give a fuck, right? But I genuinely think Liverpool were like, I can imagine, I cannot back this up, but I can imagine, and I said this prior to that deal being concluded, the owners applying a bit of pressure to the people that run the club and just saying, right, look, what do we need to make this deal happen? Can we do this? Look, it's going to cost, let's just make this happen. We'll work it out another way. I am convinced by that, guys. Like, I'm not even like throwing that out there as an idea on my mind. I'm fucking absolutely convinced. Can't prove it, but I'm honest with you. I'm not going to pretend that someone in the background has told me that, and then it makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about, or I'm an ITK. I just think that's what's happened. So the good news is we got him in. Great bit of business. I'm very happy with the way things are going at the moment. And I think, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, okay? Like, we've seen people come out saying, oh, great FSG, absolutely amazing. They signed 2 players in June. No, you can't big them up yet until the end of the window, just like you can't criticise them either. Well, this is only what the minimum they should be doing. Yes, absolutely. But we don't know. They might sign another 3 players, right? They might not. And for those that are bigging them up, saying, I'm trying to incite arguments and baiting the FSG out people, my response to you would be waiting to see, until the end of the summer. They might fucking sell someone yet. So just wait and see. Let's just, all of us, whichever side of the fence you're on, just appreciate what's happening at the moment. And at the end of the transfer window, we will work out whether it was a good window or not, right? I've seen some people saying, well, 1 more player and I'd be happy now. And I think, really? Really? I was going into this summer window thinking maybe 5 players or something like that. And one of them would have been fucking Jude Bellingham. So, no, don't step back. And if you allow yourself to become complacent with your demands and what you want at Liverpool Football Club, it filters through. So if you've been expressing disappointment, you need to keep up that disappointment. And don't you think that your voice is not heard? Because collectively it is. And right now, what's happened? They've completed that deal, and the mood has returned a little bit more sensible. The die-hard FSG out people won't change their opinions. I haven't changed my opinion. I wouldn't say I'm die-hard FSG out, but I'm certainly not FSG in. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather not have a change of ownership, and they were, determined owners who tried their best. But I don't think they're ever going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So let's just see what happens. Let's just enjoy it for the time being. And I admire and respect people that don't just flip-flop with their opinions. Like, I hate FSG. We signed this player. Oh, no, they can stay now. That shows you the mentality of some people. So I take my hat off to you guys. Whether you're in or out, shake it all about. You stand by what you believe in, and I completely respect that. Now, we've obviously had Steven Gerrard go out to Saudi Arabia and Robbie Fowler as well. Well, I put out this update the other day about the blood money and Liverpool players going out there. Firmino's gone out there. Mane now, another former Liverpool player being linked with a move out there. I think it's fucking great, guys. I really do. Because them so-called top Reds are devastated. And they try and patronise everyone and tell everyone how much of a super fan they are and how their views, whether you like it or not politically, they're on the left politically, usually. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Socialist views are great in theory. There's fucking nothing wrong with that, right? So don't feel, like I'm having a dig at you. I lean more to the right these days, I've got to be honest with you, because the loony lefts are a bit fucking too much for me with the cancel culture and everyone being fucking offended. But for transparency, I've only ever voted Labour in my life. Just so you know, I've never voted for anyone else, all right? Not saying I'd vote for Labour today, but I won't vote for the other shite either. Probably. Don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I don't really think that politicians give a fuck what I think, to be honest with you. But the point I'm making, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with my views or not, is that those particular people have banged on for a long time about, the club's traditions, the club tradition, and all this, like we're still in the 60s. We were fucking not in the 60s. I wish we were still in the 60s, not that I was around then. I wish we were in the 80s. I wish football was like it was in the 80s, but it's not. It's fucking changed. We can cry about it as much as we want. And you've got these people, and their heroes, Robbie Fowler and Steven Gerrard, God forbid, have gone to Saudi Arabia. What does that fucking tell you? Do you know what I mean, guys? And good luck to them. I'm delighted. I do not like hypocrisy because some of these people, they will constantly mock, these people in that region based on what they read in the news. They've probably got no experience of it. Oh, these people in these countries over there, right? Yeah, I'm sure they are some evil, rotten, awful bastards, right? But there is in the West as well. And America for a start, and the UK as well, has taken part in some awful things over the years. So, it's hypocrisy. And these top reds, these so-called top reds, they turned a blind eye to some of the corporate agreements and the companies that Liverpool Football Club take money off. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't like getting caught up in top red stuff, FSG in, FSG out. It does all my fucking... It does my head in, guys. I just want to talk about football. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely do. And it's the same with when it comes to politics, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, I couldn't give a shit who's in power. I really couldn't. I wouldn't lose sleep over it, guys. I've got more things to be bothered about and be passionate about and stuff like that. But if you had the complete opposite views to me politically, or to do with Liverpool Football Club and its owners, I would still sit with you and buy you, my friend, a drink. And I'd say, we have different opinions. But so what? Do you want a beer, mate? But these people are not like that, these top reds, I'm telling you. And they're a set of condescending, patronising, fucking arseholes that will hate on you and come for you if you've got a different opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people on the other side of the coin that we would probably refer to as FSG out, and they can be just as mean and bitter and evil as well. There's good and bad in everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with my opinions or not, their heroes have gone to Saudi Arabia and it has offended them. I saw one Liverpool account today on Twitter saying, does anyone feel let down? Feel let down? Wake the fuck up. Since when have footballers given a toss about us? Do you know what I mean? They've gone for the money, and good fucking luck to them, I say. And it's something I'm very passionate about, guys, as you can tell. And you listen. If they want to go out there, let them go out there. It's not my business. Right, so that's a couple of major talking points at the moment, all right? Let's see, is there anything else to talk about before? Well, Mason Mount, he's gone to United, right? A lot of people, Liverpool fans, didn't want him, blah, blah, blah. I've seen claims today that he rejected us, rejected 200 grand a week offer, I think, from Liverpool, and he's taken 250. I don't believe that, guys. I think that's just... to try and make it sound to the Man United fans how much he wanted them. Oh, turn down Liverpool. Don't believe that. I don't believe we offered him anything. And I tell you what, we can go right back to January. If you remember that sit-down, Liverpool did have an interest in Mason Mount, but he was too expensive. And if you look at what we've done in midfield with Dom, I mean, he's a fucking cracking player, as is McAllister. I've got to be honest, guys. I'm a little bit excited, but I have to keep reminding myself, right? It's early. And you know what these fuckers might do yet. So let's just wait and see. Right. Romeo Lavia is favourite to join Liverpool at 4-5. Arsenal 4-1. Man United 10-1. Chelsea 12-1. If you're new to KopTalk or new to my content, please, what you need to... I have a video, I think, on KopTalk.tv, which is my YouTube channel. And if you go on my channel and search... what would it be called? Skybet. I think it's a very old video. It's the same message, but you don't need to watch it. I'm going to tell you right now. The betting odds, right? Football fans, they think with their heart, not their head. When you go to a race meeting and back on horses, you place bets based on form. You might go and back, randomly on just the name of a horse. That's casual people. But prices, the shorter the odds means that's where the money's going, right? So Liverpool are the favourites at 4-5. That means you have to put 5 on to make 4 profit. You get your 5 back and 4. So it's not very good, is it? Because if you back someone to join Arsenal, you put 5 on, you get 20 back plus your 5, right? So that's greater odds. That means it's more likely, according to those prices, that he's going to go to Liverpool, which is probably true compared to Arsenal. But that is not a real indication of how you should believe a transfer may work out, because football supporters, they back with the money blindly what they want to happen, or they're hearing a lot of chatter. And I've seen Sky Sports before telling, this player might move to Liverpool. Can't remember his name. He was a centre-back years ago, and he was undergoing a medical at Manchester United at the time. And while they're doing that, Sky Sports News, they're promoting Sky Bet, right? Which is a complicated setup who owns Sky Bet. But supporters could be watching that news and thinking, he might go to Liverpool because that's what Sky News is, because some people are gullible like that, right? Sky News is the last fucking people I'd listen to. Got to be honest with you. They just scour the internet, you know what I'm saying? But you could listen to that news article and go and put, I'm going to put a $5 on him going to Liverpool. He was undergoing a medical with Manchester United at the time they were saying that. So when you see a horse a short price at the race meeting, that's not because someone's liked his name. That's because someone thinks he's going to win, right? And that's usually backed on form, yeah? You could say rumours and stuff like that, but he's usually form, right? Unless a price drops significantly, but we're getting complicated. The point I'm trying to make here is this is just football fans thinking what might happen. Never, please, ever bet on players potentially joining other clubs. Now, I have a 100% record when it comes to having bets on players joining Liverpool, right, financially. So if I've ever put a bet on to do with a player joining Liverpool, I've won 100% of them. Although there is one disclaimer, one I didn't win. So you're thinking, well, that's a contradiction then. No, because that player was injured, so couldn't complete the move. And I think it was a year later. I don't know. I can't remember. We're going back a very long time. And I don't know. There might be any other that. I can't remember. It was to do with Liverpool and Real Madrid or somewhere along the line. But, I when people often say to me, where would you put him? I don't usually say what I think, because I think it's irresponsible. To encourage people to gamble anyway. Like, I'm an adult, so I can have a bet, and I'm if I put £20 on a bet, I'm willing to lose that £20. But some people might put £20 on because they're broke and want to make it 40, and I just don't think that's right. So I try to avoid stuff like that. I like a bet. I do it for fun. But I wouldn't encourage people to bet on the next manager or whether that player will go here or there. So you'll have noticed in recent years I don't do that. There's been a lot of speculation as well, about Mo Salah. Mo Salah, as Fabrizio Romano would say, possibly going out to Saudi Arabia. I have no real fear about that at the moment, but I know our owners, and if a huge offer came in, I could actually understand it if they took it. I know you're not going to like me saying that, but I'm talking about a huge offer, ridiculous offer, like, holy shit, he's going to leave next year anyway if he hasn't gone, before, so I could understand it, but the only thing is it's about who you replace him with. And right now, I'm not sure who you would replace Mo Salah with. I do not want him to go. I'm not concerned about it. I thought the end of season tweet, was it, or Instagram tweet, I think, about not qualifying for the Champions League was suspicious. I don't think he wrote it. I think his agent did it. I think it was very well worded. They know what they're doing. I don't trust the agent. I don't trust Mo Salah either. I like him. He's a Liverpool player. He's cool. But he's not going to tell you everything that he's up to, and that's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine. The example of him having his photograph snapped with the PSG owner, to me, was what I mean by I do not trust Mo Salah, because I actually think that picture was set up. I am that deep with my conspiracy theories and tinfoil hat and all that, guys. I think that picture was deliberate. I really do. And I know I'm not the only one. So I expected a lot of speculation to do with that at the moment. But that could be, linked to Mbappe and whatnot. At the moment, the Mo Salah situation is quiet. But I think that I think Mo Salah will end up out there. I do. unless he went to PSG this summer. So at the present time, it's quiet, but I think you'd be naive if you think that his agent is not holding conversations in the background at the moment. Okay. Liverpool have reportedly upped their efforts to prize Federico Valverde away from Real Madrid this summer. That's according to Spanish publication Nacional. And they claim that Liverpool have offered £77 million for him, or an offer in that region. I do not believe that personally, and I am in Spain and I see what the papers say, and I have Spanish friends that tell me about what they think about Liverpool, and usually Real Madrid. A lot of Real Madrid fans around where I live, and I don't believe that we've tabled an offer in the region of £77 million for him. So listen to what I'm saying. I do not believe that Liverpool have tabled, presented, offered, put on a table £77 million or a figure close to that amount for that player with Real Madrid at the present time. Okay, let's have a look at today's gossip from the mainstream media. I refuse to read out transfer claims from websites that I know are talking shit, right? And maybe that's wrong. Maybe I shouldn't pick and choose, because maybe you should make your own decisions, and that's what I tell you to do all the time. But it just, I can't do it. It's like a principle thing myself. And I don't consider the likes of Football Insider, 90 Min, Give Me Football and stuff like that as mainstream media. So as far as I'm concerned, I always refer to this section as mainstream media, and that's how it's going to be moving forward, right? So I don't know. I just think that that's how it should be. And there are some terrible outlets out there at the moment, and one in particular that's gained a lot of ground recently, based just purely on speculation, and I think it's very misleading. Anyway, so I'm sticking with the mainstream media on when we do this section. The Times, there you go, that's mainstream media, right? Fucking 90min.com, isn't it? Whatever it's called. The Times. Thiago Alcantara is attracting interest from foreign clubs, including those in Saudi Arabia, although Liverpool have yet to receive an official bid for the Spain midfielder 32. I believe that, but I do believe that there has been indirect contact, or should I say direct contact, with the players' representatives. The Guardian. Arsenal's £105 million deal to sign England midfielder Declan Rice is close to being finalised, with the guaranteed portion of the fee expected to be paid to West Ham over 3 instalments. Sky Germany say that Arsenal have held talks with Leipzig over German midfielder Benjamin Henrichs, 26, as a replacement for the outgoing Granit Xhaka. Bild. The Gunners will also press ahead with a move for Leverkusen right back Jeremy Frimpong, 22. Little bit of speculation amongst more so the fans, I think, suggesting Liverpool could have an interest in him. The Guardian. Arsenal, Man City, Man United and Tottenham are among a large group of clubs who have shown an interest in Red Bull Salzburg's Israel midfielder Oscar Glock, 19. The Mail. Brighton's Spain goalkeeper Robert Sanchez, 25, has emerged as a potential target for Manchester United, while Sport in Spain say Barcelona have agreed a deal to sign Vitor Roque from Atletico Paranaense, but must see if they can reduce their wage bill before knowing if the Brazil forward 18 can join the team this summer, January or next summer. Sport also say that Barca have moved ahead of Real Madrid in the race to sign Turkey's Arda Güler from Fenerbahce, with AC Milan and Borussia Dortmund having ended their pursuit of the attacking midfielder who is 18. AS also in Spain say Güler has also received offers from Arsenal and Sevilla, but would prefer to join Real Madrid. Sport again say Real have asked Inter Milan to name a price for Argentina striker Lautaro Martinez, 25. L'Equipe and Francois. PSG and Christophe Galtier have mutually agreed to part company, and Luis Enrique will be presented as the team's new manager on Wednesday. Fabrizio Romano. Along with Enrique as their new manager, PSG will announce 6 incoming players in the coming days, with left-back Lucas Hernandez, defensive midfielder Manuel Ugarte, attacking midfielder Kang In Lee, Winger Marco Asensio and centre-back Milan Skriniar and midfielder Hendo all arriving. Wow, that's some serious business. The Athletic say Brighton have renewed their interest in Ajax's Nigeria centre-back Calvin Bassey, 23, as a possible alternative to Chelsea's English defender Levi Colwill, 20, a player who is being linked with Liverpool a little bit. And he has been linked with us for a few months. Could be difficult to happen, though. Diario de Almeria. That basically means the Diary of Almeria, which is in Spanish, as Almeria say Everton and 2 Italian clubs have submitted offers for Mali striker El Bilal Toure, 21. The Metro say England winger Callum Hudson-Odoi, 22, has decided to leave Chelsea this summer, with AC Milan joining the race to sign him. The Mail say Southampton's Tino Livramento would prefer a move to Newcastle after Chelsea showed a surprise interest in re-signing the English right-back. The Mirror. Arsenal are open to selling Folarin Balogun this summer and have set a valuation of £50 million for the American striker. Fabrizio Romano, Mo Salah. He says Arsenal is set to agree a contract extension with France defender William Saliba, 22, which will run until 2027. But the Mirror said that Belgian midfielder Albert Sambi Lokonga, 23, said he wants to leave Arsenal this summer. TalkSport, I'll include them. Aaron Ramsey has held talks with Cardiff over a return to his boyhood club after the Wales midfielder 32 was released by French club Nice. I like to call them Nice. RAC1, which is Catalonia. Okay, former Spain midfielder Andres Iniesta, 39, has offers from Inter Miami and Saudi Arabia after leaving Vissel Kobe. And finally, Fabrizio Romano says Barcelona have won the race to sign Brazilian striker Vitor Roque, 28, 18 from Atletico Paranaense. Fucking hell, some names in there, weren't there, guys? Right, that's your lot. I don't think there's any emails. If there is, please resend to me because I haven't seen them. What's the email address? podcast@koptalk.com. So, I want to give a shout out to the squad. The lovely people that support my podcast. And without these people that I'm about to say to you, there wouldn't be a podcast. That is for sure. You can support this podcast by going to www.koptalkpodcast.com, and for the cost of a coffee once a month, you can have all the adverts removed. You can listen to bonus episodes when I do them, etc., etc., etc. So I would like to thank the following people. Now, I have changed the tier names recently, but it's basically the same thing. It's just to make sure everything's in order across the entire KopTalk network. So you can now become a member, right? So you can become a supporter of this podcast, but you can become a KopTalk member, right? Or legend. So a member or above legend will give you all the juicy bits of text articles, audio, extra audio. We'll take the adverts out. Videos as well. The member videos from KopTalk TV are available to patrons on here through the app or the website if you are a KopTalk member or above, which is KopTalk Legend. So you can become a KopTalk member now via Patreon, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at KopTalk. If you go to Twitter, click on bio, you'll see the option subscribe. And you get all the text stuff, all the videos, extra videos, and all the audio, right? So it's just whichever is your preferred platform, that is it. So if you support this podcast as a member or as a legend, you now get everything else on here as well. The supporters, they're getting just the podcast episodes, they're happy with that. That's what they're getting. But if you want to be a member, you can upgrade the tier up to member or legend and you get all the extra stuff. I'm just trying to make it easier across so people don't have to be on KopTalk TV and on the podcast. And do you know what I'm saying? The VIP members website is a separate gig altogether. That has all that shit on there, right? But it also has the community and all the contributors and everything. That's a separate gig. And if you want to be on there, you know what I mean? If you drop me an email, dunk@koptalk.com, I'll always, I'll look after you. You know what I mean? But if you want to be a KopTalk member, you can do that via Patreon now, via this podcast, by becoming a member of this podcast or above KopTalk Legend. Okay, I hope I've explained that. It's a recent change. I don't want to have to bang on about it all the time. I'm not trying to sell anything to you. Obviously, I need support and love support and appreciate any support that you give me. Some of you can't do that. You're not in a position to do so. But you're listening, and I appreciate that. So, www.koptalkpodcast.com if you want to become a supporter, a member, or what is now called Legend, which is the top tier on here. So I would like to give a shout out to the following people, the following supporters. Ricky Harris, he's new, he joined this week. Thank you, Ricky. Also, Liam Buckland and James Braid, okay? And other supporters include Wayne Brown, Vincent, Tom Brown, TG, Simon Digweed, Phil Walsh, Matt Bingley, we got Jimmy, we got Jamie, we got Ari, we got Amza, we have Glyn, and we have Aaron as well. We then have the members. These are Cop Talk members. Craig Halford, Paul MC, Matt, Mika, James Lee, Jack Wood, Jack Rudgley, Dominic, Dave, Clint, Big Wave Dave, and Andrew Evans. And then we have our three legends, Michael Couchman, David Sutcliffe, and Adam Naylor. Okay? Now, we have had some new additions to this to the podcast. We've got Dave Kelly, who I've mentioned these names already, but Dave recently joined us, so I do appreciate that, Dave. I'm not sure if you've been mentioned. Dominic is another one as well. Let me go down my list, because I do like to give a shout out to these people, especially. Phil Walsh is another one. Thank you, Phil. Vincent as well. Vincent, thank you, Vincent. And maybe the other one was Ricky Harris. That's correct. So I do appreciate that, guys. The support is very, very important to me. I can't, honestly, I don't take the piss. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me. It does help. It goes in the kitty. And I'm very grateful. So www.KopTalkPodcast.com if you want to join the squad. All right. So that's your lot for today, guys. I think we're going to have a quick look. Is there anything on the VIP members website? They are talking about, let's have a look. They're talking about no, they're just talking about someone's saying Fabinho is pivotal to our season next year. Talking about Thuram, that we need more in midfield. There are updates on there concerning Romeo Lavia. Just stuff that we've discussed already. So, yeah, there are other names on there. There's quite a bit about Saudi transfers and things. So, you're not really missing out on anything at the moment, guys, in my opinion. All right? And I probably shouldn't be saying that to you. I'm supposed to be getting you to sign up on there. But no, I always think it's better for, to be honest with people, the members website is an amazing place to be. And if you're in a position to be on there, then of course I'd love you to be on there. But that's not how it works around these parts. People will support you if they think you deserve it and if they're in a position to do so. Right. There is one more page I want to check to see if anything's come out while we've been recording. Do keep the emails coming, podcast@koptalk.com. Liverpool forward Cade Gordon is set to return to full training later this month after 17 months on the sidelines. The 18-year-old has not featured for the Reds since February 2022 with a long-term pelvic injury which kept him sidelined during that time. Liverpool are keen to avoid rushing him back prematurely and have handled his rehabilitation with caution, it says here. Okay, guys, that's it. That's your lot today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I will try and churn out more content for you. I do feel that we need more audio content. I do feel that. And trust me, every single day I'm aware of that. And I'm just trying to come up with a way of making it all work. If you really do appreciate the podcast, please tell me. Do you know what I mean? Because, especially if you're a patron, you've got every right to tell me, don't. I really wish you did 2 episodes, 3 episodes a week, whatever. Because the more feedback I get from you, the more I think the people want that. Does that make sense? So I don't mean kiss me ass. Some people prefer to read. Some people prefer to watch videos, So I'm trying to do everything for you. And the least feedback I get is about the podcast. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you've got an opinion, especially if you're a patron, please do let me know. Dunk, D-U-N-K, at KopTalk.com, or message me via Patreon and I'll get it that way. And like I say, if you want to be a member now, it's now possible via the Patreon website. Okay, guys, that's it. Don't forget, the podcast is on Twitter and Facebook. KopTalk Podcast is the username. No surprises there. Speak to you later, guys. Have a good one. All right.